had everything in it that for me is AMAD Diallo. He fought to take the ball off the PAOK defender, and then he pushed, through to get the shot, and in the end he had the quality to bend it round the goalkeeper. So
AMAD stakes Ruben Amorim claim as Man United star shows up struggling team and shocks RUUD Van Nistelrooy, as Van Nistelrooy is keeping his promise to Ruben Amorim ahead of Manchester United job swap. For a player with his unremarkable statistics, AMAD Diallo appears to rate himself pretty highly, hence the stony face when he was introduced in the dying stages of Manchester United's previous European engagement. Clearly unimpressed when Erik ten Hag only turned to him with a handful of minutes left against Fenerbahce in Istanbul, AMAD clearly believes he should be higher in United's attacking pecking order. The Ivory Coast international is right. At the very least, and this is what you call damning with faint praise, he is a more effective and hardworking show pony than Antony is. Tracking back half the length of the field diagonally to make a routine tackle always goes down well with the faithful, and AMAD obliged on more than one occasion against limited opposition. Marcus Rashford, take note. One of AMAD's issues, though, is commonplace amongst the relatively young talent at Old Trafford. His potential is taking way too long to develop into game-altering effectiveness. But on this evidence, which included a neatly converted header and a fine individual effort, the 22-year-old can stake a claim to be a leading player in the Ruben Amorim era. He is direct, he is quick, he is confident, his touch is good, and he has a trick. Oh, and he kisses the badge. But AMAD is definitely not all about flashiness, as his second of the night perfectly exemplified. The finish might have needed the slightest help from a deflection, but what was particularly significant was how AMAD fought tenaciously to win possession from Abdul Baba in the first place. Again, the hard yards and the sweat are what the fans love to see. When RUUD Van Nistelrooy made 3 changes midway through the second half, it was Alejandro Garnacho who made way for Rashford. Rightly so. He might not be as far up the pecking order as he thinks he should be, but AMAD is getting there. Eventually, AMAD was replaced ahead of the final whistle, giving the crowd the chance to acclaim the outstanding individual performance of the night. In essence, this match and this Sunday's Premier League engagement with Leicester City are auditions for the Amorim regime. And there was a lot against the Greeks that will not have impressed the new manager, but that does not apply to AMAD's contribution. Judging by the way he was celebrating barefooted on the pitch after the final whistle, there were no injury concerns behind AMAD's late withdrawal. After this, he will be chomping at the bit to get a Premier League start on Sunday, even though Van Nistelrooy does have several attacking options. But even if it means Rashford missing out, or even if it means Garnacho missing out, AMAD must start against Leicester City. After that, it is the start of the Amorim age, and it just might be the start of the AMAD age. In other news, RUUD Van Nistelrooy is keeping his promise to Ruben Amorim ahead of Manchester United job swap. 3 down, 1 to go. The RUUD Van Nistelrooy era at Manchester United will end this weekend, but so far, the club's legendary former striker is fulfilling his brief. After the high of the rampant Carabao Cup win against Leicester City, things have become a little more mundane recently. They were second best in a draw against Chelsea, followed by a scrappy win against PAOK in the Europa League. United will hope the new manager bounce under incoming head coach Ruben Amorim lasts more than 1 game. To be fair to Van Nistelrooy, if he can finish this weekend with 3 wins and a draw from his 4 games, he will consider that a success. He will also be doing his replacement in the Old Trafford dugout a favor. This wasn't a performance that would have had Amorim counting down the hours until he arrives at Carrington. It only served to highlight quite how much work is required here. For 45 minutes at least, United made incredibly hard work of beating a side sitting 33rd in the 36-team Europa League standings, although they did at least win their first European game for 380 days. That is where they find themselves at the moment. However, and you are grateful for the 4,000-strong visiting contingent who contributed to a fine atmosphere. Without them, this would have felt even more low-key than it was. It certainly couldn't match the fireworks on show in Lisbon on Tuesday. If you were being mischievous, you would suggest this 2-0 victory wasn't even United's best win in Europe this week. If Amorim takes over a side that has won 3 and drawn one of its 4 games since Erik ten Hag's departure, he will be grateful for that before he looks to put his own stamp on this side. He will expect to see more quality than that on show in the opening 45 minutes on Thursday, which were as disjointed as humdrum as many of the halves under ten Hag in recent months. United lacked any kind of structure, with players told to rotate and be flexible, only for those freedoms to backfire. It was a night that needed individual quality, and it got it through AMAD. His header steered back across goal for his first was inventive, and his second was down to his ability to hound Baba Rahman out of possession. and then finish brilliantly. Amorim would undoubtedly have taken note of that. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.